and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Todd Anderson. You are
Ross Merriam.
And who we got over in the booth? Say hi.
That is Taylor.
Today we got Taylor over in the booth instead of Rob. Rob is taking a break. He did a lot of work this weekend. You did too, Taylor, but he did a lot of work on the broadcast this weekend for SCG Con, and he came in Tuesday to grace us with his presence, and now he's probably at home sleeping, maybe playing some video games.
I'd be sleeping.
I would also be sleeping.
I'd do both.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, we went back to trying out these new decks based on Modern Horizons cards. There's a lot of stuff to work with. There's various tutor effects, good fair cards, good protection cards, as well as quite a few combo cards, as we've come to learn. And today we're kind of checking out the different spectrum. On Tuesday, we had a lot of combo-oriented stuff. Today, we're going to be doing a lot more fair stuff. I'll let you start, and you can talk about all the decks if you want, or just this one we're playing up first.
Yeah, I'll start with this first one. This is probably the least fair deck of the day, given that it's a combo deck that can win on turn 3. But this is an updated version of, well, it used to be Counters Company, but we've removed the collected companies.
Yeah, so now it's just Counters.
Yeah, it's a dedicated Devoted Druid combo deck.
Yes.
Between Giver of Runes as this great turn 1 piece of preemptive protection if you're a Devoted Druid, and Aladamri's Call, which is an excellent tutor for any of your combo pieces. We have, the tools to be able to be a more dedicated combo deck. So Finale of Devastation is the other tutor piece, replacing Quarter Calling. Aladamri's Call will replace Collected Company. And then alongside Giver of Runes, you're just really consistent, and now you're consistent at winning through that first lightning bolt.
Yeah, I think that is the key, is that both Eldamri's Call and Finale give you that consistency of always having the threat of the combo, and if your opponent doesn't continually answer it, there's a chance they just die on the spot. And if you play against another combo deck where they're a little bit slower than you and they don't have that much interaction, you're just faster than them.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the fastest decks in the format, but being a creature-based combo meant that it was also the easiest to interact with.
Right.
The backup plan when it was playing Collected Company was not particularly effective, so we've essentially eliminated that. We can go for some mediocre beatdowns with our 2-1s, and we got a Gavany Township to pump them up. Post-Bora, there's Tireless Tracker and some things we can do to play more of a fair game, but it really is a dedicated combo deck now.
Now, this one specifically, we actually got from Edgar Magalhaes, one of the players who's really high up on the SCG Tour leaderboard. I think his record is somewhere around 23-2 with the deck after this last night's stream. And this is actually really close to what you played in almost the first week, where we were playing with Modern Horizons cards, right? You had the Giver of Runes, and you wrote about it in your article.
I got a little fancy cutting the incubation incongruities for Vivian Champion of the Wild, doing some cool stuff, and didn't have as many mana creatures, so I got a little fancy with too much new stuff, and it cost me in the match that we played. So this is a little bit more streamlined, more disciplined deck building here from Edgar. No surprise there.
Well, I will say this. A lot of times on Versus Live and Versus in the past, we have tried out new decks, and we play one match with them, and then we just kind of set them aside, especially if they get whooped. And in that particular match, I don't remember what you played against. I think it was my Lava Dart deck, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a mono red prowess deck of sorts. I think you went 3-1.
Yeah, I was playing the Rituals and Bedlam Revelers and Gut Shots and stuff, and then we kind of put it off to the side. But I'm really glad to see that someone has picked it up and brought it back to the forefront, because it's a deck I think could be really, really strong in the format.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a deck that is poised to match up quite well against the Bridgevine deck, and I pointed that out in my article on Tuesday as a deck that can ignore what they're doing and sort of race them and take advantage of the fact that deck has no main deck creature removal usually, occasionally a Necrotic Wound or 2 there. So your Devoted Druid is going to live in that matchup. You don't even really need the Giver, and then you just kill them on turn 3 while maybe they have a Hogak in play. You just ignore it. So a really good choice for that. And the fact that Giver improves your matchup against a lot of the interactive decks, against Phoenix, which has 6 to 8 pieces of removal, but not a huge number. Oftentimes our opening hand has the 1, so the Giver will get that out, and then you just kill them with their Thing in the Ice and play. And Giver also protects your Devoted Druid from Reflector Mage against humans, another minimally interactive deck that can be problematic. So I think Giver is going to just increase your percentages across the board, as opposed to, rocketing one matchup or turning around one matchup. And that increased percentage across the board is really powerful.
Yeah. From my side, I'm going to be playing a Blue Moon deck. This is a blue-based control deck featuring Blood Moon, kind of on a light splash. On top of the Blood Moon, there are other red cards in the deck. We have Lightning Bolt, of course. But Magmatic Sinkhole is this new delve removal spell for red that kills a lot of creatures for 1 mana. Your most Tarmogoyf, Tasker the Golden Fang, Gurmag Angler, but more importantly, in some matchups, it kills planeswalkers. Being able to spend 1 mana to kill an opposing Jason Mind Sculptor, Teferi of either sort,
Narset
even when we're trying to try. Right. Just 1 mana removal spell for all of those cards just seems really strong. We're also playing a couple copies of Archmage's Charm. That's like one of my favorite new cards. Being able to steal a cheap creature is pretty powerful. We had that Tuesday against Death Shadow, and it was phenomenal. But here we're going to have it against either mana creatures or using either the other 2 modes, which is Counterspell or draw 2 cards. Yeah. And instant speed, all 3 of those things quite good.
Yeah, taking a mana creature is definitely nice as a control deck. You're able to ramp a little bit, deny me a resource, and then start landing your thing in the ice or a planeswalker with a counterspell up or with a removal up, and make sure that you can advance your game plan while defending against mine. So should be a really powerful card in the matchup. I love Magmatic Sinkhole in this deck as well.
I also keep trying to say Magmatic Insight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Chasm. There's so many Magmatic cards.
And there's one other new card in the main deck, and that's Force of Negation. Well, there's actually 2. Force of Negation is 3 mana negate, but you can pitch it, right? And it's not going to be that good in this matchup, but I think it's going to be phenomenal against combo decks in general, because your opponents usually are comboing on their own turn. So you can tap out for something like Narset, and then you can either protect it from like a removal spell or something, but you can also just have this piece of interaction that's free. And I think that that's really important with cards like Thing in the Ice and Narset, where you can be proactive with your card you're deploying to the battlefield while also still not just completely getting shut down by these combos.
Yeah, I agree. It's very good here, especially if you're playing with a significant number of planeswalkers. Also lets you tap out for your turn 2 Thing in the Ice more aggressively.
Right.
But I wouldn't sell it short in this matchup. I've got Finale Devastation, Latimer's Call. Sometimes if I'm on the play and I go Giver into Devoted Druid, the ideal curve, and you have removal spell into Thing in the Ice, your Force of Negation might protect you from the combo for that turn.
Right.
Like you untap, transform that thing, maybe find another counter spell with a cantrip, something like that, or find a removal spell. So I think it's going to be solid in this matchup. Not a card you want a ton of numbers of, but it counters some of the best cards in my deck, and then can protect your Thing in the Ice from Incongruity, the other half of Incubation.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the match and play some Magic, and you will be on the play because the marbles are still behind me.
Yep, as they've been for quite a while now.
Could you swivel to show everyone your marbles other way?
Yeah, it's harder to see now.
Oh, yeah, we have fat chairs now.
Yeah, now that we got these sweet Karnox chairs.
Oh no, hold on. Can you see them when they're there?
No, put it next to Zender Split.
All right, Zender Split. You got
it. Yeah.
Well, now Zender Split's got the marble, so you don't get to go first anymore. All right, how's your opening hand, Mr. Miriam?
It doesn't work like that.
Tell me what doesn't do more on it.
Yeah, this hand looks quite solid, so we're going to snap this one off.
We need to draw some lanes in a row, but we have some ways to do it, so.
I will play a Birds of Paradise.
All right, draw.
Yep.
Since Tarn can get either, I'm going to lead off here with a Flood of Strands, so go.
I will crack this Heath, go 19. Get a Forest. Play Spellskite.
So I'm going to fetch and bolt the bird in response.
I will make a green and play a Noble Hierarch.
Yeah. Spellskite's actually pretty good against my deck.
Yeah, it is a one-of, but it is a very good one-of. It's nice to be able to tutor for, a piece of protection that turns on immediately. Mm-hmm. So Spellskite makes a good one-of next to the Mother... Giver Runes. There we go. So you're at 17?
Yeah, and
I'm at
you're
19.
going to be at 19.
Edgar is in the chat.
What's up, Edgar?
Take my energy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I need it.
You've had the marbles for so long.
Your turn.
17 and 19. Could be seeing a remand here. So I guess I will play my Devoted Druid.
I will fetch and remand it, I guess.
Okay, I'll play a land and recast it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to die.
You're at 16. pretty good draw on my end. Turn 2 Spellskite, turn 3 Devoted Druid, and it.
Untap draw. Okay, so we have a couple options here. I would say that we're pretty much going to die next turn. But if we don't die next turn, we need to basically set up for the best way to not lose the game. And I think that just means casting Serum Visions and Thing in the Ice on this turn. So let's do that. And then hope we don't die. Trigger. Your turn. I think he probably has one of the 2 things he needs. So he has infinite mana.
Okay, so we'll Admiral's Call, we'll find Vizier, cast it, and then we'll make a ridiculously large amount of mana and cast an incredibly large Finale.
So did you peel?
I peeled this one too.
Well, then why are you acting like you needed to peel? You had everything.
Yeah, I wanted to slow roll you a little.
Why? What are you doing?
So I also wanted to make the interesting note that even normally you would have to, find a Duskwatch recruiter, but with Finale, even if there were no recruiters in my deck, you can just cast a Finale for a gigantic amount, and then all your creatures get +X and haste.
Yeah.
So it actually serves as a win condition in a certain number of games. If the game goes long and a lot of your win conditions are gone.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was a really strong showing from your deck in game 1. Yeah. I actually had a not terrible start. I was trying to hold I only had the 1 removal spell, so I was trying to hold the bolt for potentially a more impactful creature there on the draw.
Yeah, this is one of the matchups where you tend to not bolt the bird.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd bolt into Remand into Thing plus Cantrip.
Yeah. I mean, you just had 2 mana creatures plus Devoted Druid plus Spellskite plus 3 combo pieces.
And 3 lands.
Yeah. It's almost like you stacked your deck. He didn't stack his deck.
Nope.
Or did you? All right, let's play another one pre-board. We'll maybe get a couple extra games in here if we keep it clean since your combo kills me so quickly.
Also, this version of Blue Moon, now with main deck Thing in the Ice, can also kill quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
You can't transform it on turn 3 like Phoenix can, but...
I don't know if I keep 5 lands here. What's up?
I just saw your hand.
I'm going to keep it. I got stuff to do.
Apparently you have 2 things to do. I will keep my hand as well.
All right. Cast Serum Visions. I'm going to draw and scry, and you should not play anything yet, because I might change my scry. That was a good draw. 2 lands on the bottom. You're up. I'm at 19.
I will crack fetch to 19.
Are you Conley Woods?
I am going to get basic planes and play Giver Runes.
Okay.
Pass the turn. This might be aggressive in playing around Blood Moon, but I kind of want to see how it works.
I'm going to go to 16 and bolt this.
All right, Ross, I have something from Edgar that I don't understand, so I'm just going to read it verbatim. You can also Finale straight for Ballista, so that it enters with +X, and doesn't die if you need to kill it through a bridge without a recruiter.
That is another good point.
Cool.
So the Finale gives +X as part of its resolution, so state-based actions are not going to be taken until after the spell resolves, at which point your Ballista, which has base power and toughness 0/0, gets pumped by the Finale, and you can then activate its ability.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. I'm at 16, if that's not clear.
Yeah.
Ross, are you going to 18?
Yep.
All right.
Going to 18 and playing Devoted Druid.
Yep.
See if my Giver of Runes worked.
Your turn.
Actually, I should go to 16 here to play around a Remand. Now, if Todd had a removal spell, he would assuredly cast it on this Devoted Druid.
Oh, no.
Which means...
I have nothing or a counter spell.
Yes. That is exactly what that means. So we're both at 16. And I will draw for my turn. And I will play a Vizier Remedies.
Yep.
And I will make a large amount of mana.
Yep.
And I will play Latimer's Call.
All right, I'm gonna force some negation, hard cast, and lose to a finale of Devastation.
Well, we can't kill this turn.
Woo!
Because I don't have another white source.
Woo!
So I guess I will just play the Eternal Witness now, make sure that resolves, and then get another white source down, and pass the turn.
All right, draw for turn. Bounce draw.
That is so awkward.
Your turn.
Why does it have to be this way?
I don't know what.
How could this happen?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, someone's yelling, Judge. Force of negation exiles the call.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did I mess up? Oh, that matters. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that matters a lot.
Holy crap.
Saying exiles?
Counter target non-creature spell. If the spell's countered this way, exile instead of putting it in his owner's graveyard.
That was just negate.
Did not know that.
Thanks, guys.
So what are you getting back with the Witness?
I don't think I'm playing the Witness.
What's okay. Well, then I might not play the Cryptic Command. Whatever. Okay, you just have the Witness in hand. That's fine.
Yeah. I still think you should probably Cryptic it. But and I've already drawn. So attack for 2.
I'm at 12 or 14. Maybe 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You fetched, right? You should be at 13.
Okay. And Ross still at 16, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so 13, 16, thing is exiled, Witness in hand. Everything is as it should be.
My bad, everybody.
Oh, it's my bad too. It's my
Okay, well, now I kind of wish I'd played the Witness because I didn't draw a land.
Okay.
Maybe I should have. I don't know.
Look, man, I told you. I gave you the out. Fetch 2, 12, and pass turn.
Oh.
Attack for 4.
I'll go to 9, I guess.
8.
Because you just fetched the 12.
Yeah, 8.
Okay, play Giver Runes.
Sure.
Okay, play Vizier Remedies.
So he's just going full on beatdown. So we'll go counter draw.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bolt the bird.
That's not a good sign. It means Todd is not scared of this Giver at all. Nor is he that afraid of these 2-1s killing him. That is that's a sign of strength from Todd that he can take the time to deal with my... Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess all he needs is the Snapcaster, really.
Chat wants to know if you have enough Viziers, Ross.
Can never have enough Viziers.
Is that true?
Attack of the Witness. 2 in hand?
Yep. You still have 1 million, right?
Yeah, I just haven't played a 3rd land.
Oh, poor baby. I just had infinite mana on turn 3.
Be nice, Todd.
I'm not really complaining. I'm saying that explains why I have so many cards.
That's fair.
I will play Scavengers.
I'll remand it.
Pass turn.
I will
Play a land.
play land. Your turn.
I will play a Scavengers.
Resolves.
Play a Forest.
Sure.
Attack for 2.
6.
Pass the turn.
Braid the use.
You have a creature in there, right?
Yeah, I have a Snapcaster Mage. If you would like to, you can eat my only lightning bolts. Or
yeah, let's eat the lightning bolt then.
I do have an Abrade still, so it's a little...
okay, if you have an Abrade, then I don't think it matters.
I have 1 Seer Visions as my draw, 2 Cryptics.
Just give me the life point.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
You have enough other stuff.
17 to 6.
Yep.
Play not.
Yep.
I think I need like a Narset or something to actually gain me actual extra cards. All right.
I don't like the keep. Keep is scary.
I'm gonna fetch out a 5 and say go.
Is a Snapcaster for Cryptic?
Only one way to find out.
Devoted Druid.
Remand.
Attack for 2.
I'm gonna go ahead and sinkhole it and kill it. I don't know what I'm doing. Just check my life total now that I'm at 5. That still just knocks off half his combo.
Yes.
We have no cards, so we really need a Narset here. Snapcaster or Cryptic would also be great. Your turn.
Devoted Druid.
Remand.
Fetch. I'm going to go to 14 and get the blue source, get a breeding pool. Play Devoted Druid.
That's fine.
Pass.
Gonna Snapcaster, Cryptic, bounce, snap, draw a card. This just gets me up on cards a little bit. I could snap, counter, draw, but now I can have more options and then just snap bolt this if I need to.
So snap in hand.
Yeah. It's not that scary by itself. Like now I drew a removal spell for it, so now I can just kill it. And then I just have a Snapcaster, Cryptic for another thing.
Yeah, that's a real heads up play. Can you imagine if I gut shot?
You and Gutshot have an unhealthy relationship.
Disagree.
All right, your turn.
Now we know about a Snapcaster, so we kind of have to, once again, start pressuring Todd's life total and force him to act in some other way. So I'll play Vizier.
And I can just snap, counter, draw this, and just keep the cards coming. I think that's fine. Okay.
You have 2 in hand.
I have 2 in hand.
Incubation.
Sure.
Let's take a spell skite and pass the turn.
Sure. Attack.
12.
Blood Moon.
Yep.
Go.
Spell skite.
Sure.
Spell skite resolving makes me think Todd has a counter spell. This is getting awkward. 2 in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Pass the turn.
Snap a braid. Untap.
Yep.
Draw. Attack for 4.
8.
Go.
Okay, well, I might have cost myself the game with that being patient play, but I don't know. Do you have something? I'll go to 6 and try to return Devoted Druid.
You go to 6.
Vizier.
Bolt the Devoted Druid in response.
Yeah. I guess you had Snap Cryptic up, right? When you snap abraded?
No, I'd snap Remand
And?
up.
Yeah,
You
no.
didn't have enough mana.
Snap Remand would have been enough because I have to return the Devoted Druid and then Vizier with only the one white source. And
you're not quite dead. You're at 6. You trade, go to 4. I have no
you bolted this. Yeah, so
because otherwise you just get to make infinite mana in response.
This does not get exiled. It's not like Unearth.
Yeah, you can float a green if you like.
Yeah, I will float a green.
Okay,
that makes a lot of sense. Because then I get to actually cast one of these finales.
Okay. For X equals 1.
X equals 1. I have another one, so I think I'm just going to find a Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, that way you can cast another one for a decent amount.
I'm at 6 right now.
Yeah, and I'm at 5. So
this is a good match, guys.
This is a good match.
Pass the turn.
It's a good game.
I think I'm going to trade here, just so I don't die to a bolt. So I guess I'm gonna Eternal Witness back Eternal Witness and just try to win a fair game. I think. So I think I will trade.
Okay, so you're at 4.
Yep.
I'll play a thing to go.
That's pretty cool. Giver runes. Finale X equals 3.
You can get the witness from your grave if you want.
I think I'm actually going to find
deck. Yeah, you can witness hand and get one out the grave.
Well, but I actually think I'm going to find Deputy and just deal with this thing right now.
Sure.
Maybe I should wait on that. So I could get Witness and just I could get Witness out of my graveyard and get back Finale, and then set up to deal with this next turn when the Giver is active, so you can't draw a removal spell.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
But then if you draw a counter spell, I'm in kind of rough shape.
What if you just Witness back Witness, and then you just play a slower game because I have no cards in hand?
Why are you shuffling?
Because I shouldn't have shuffled because I should have thought about this more. Right. I kind of like the Witness play because then I can just trade here, and then next turn Finale, and then have the thing covered.
Go. Or maybe I should force a trade. That way you just keep the Finale chain having to get the Witness.
Right. Does Finale say and or?
Yeah, it gets graveyard or library.
But does it have and?
No, I shouldn't have shuffled I that's a good trade. This is awkward because I drew the Deputy, but I can cast it, so that's cool. Pass.
Want to attack with the Giver for 2?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, because I want to protect this. You can go.
Okay. Serum.
This is a game.
We'll put one on top, one on bottom.
That's not a good sign.
No, there's no difference if I keep an opt on top and I cast an opt, right? So you see the exact same number of cards.
Yes, but it costs you a mana, which could be relevant.
Thing in the ice on top. I think I just want a Narset in the same spot, or I just need to find a thing to.
Thing isn't bad because it sort of forces me to start...
I know you have Finale in hand still, so it's not that good.
Well, I don't have another removal spell.
It doesn't matter. Like, you just get to give Pro Blue and attack me twice or 3 times, I'm dead.
But then by giving Pro Blue, it unlocks a Lightning Bolt.
Yep. I don't know. I think you should attack last turn for whatever it's worth, but...
Okay, Finale does say and, but that means you can search both. You only get a creature from 1.
Yeah.
It just lets you search either zone, but I think you're only supposed to shuffle if you search through your deck, but it's not a huge deal. Ross was making choice. I'm going to lose this game. I feel like I should.
Finale for 3.
Ross had a really good turn the one turn with the Postmortem Lunge.
Find Witness, get back Spellskite, play land, play Spellskite, and then attack for 2.
At 3.
Pass.
He did search his library temporarily.
And now, even if a Todd were to draw a thing in the ice on that last turn and have removal, I can make this Pro Blue and leave the Spellskite up.
I don't know why you're so scared of thing in the ice when I have no cards in hand.
I've flipped a thing with no cards in hand before. Maybe it's just experience. That deck's certainly not as good at doing it.
No, not as good. It was possible, but All right, well, I guess now we'll get the sideboards. What time is it?
Dual time.
1:30.
Also 1:30.
All right, we're going to take a short break here while we get sideboards put together. If you have any questions for Ross or myself about
at SCG
these 2 decks, at SCG Tour in the chat. And we'll be picking our favorites. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And welcome back here to Sideboarding for Druid combo against Blue Moon. Not a lot going on my side. I'm going to bring in a couple of the Unified Wills. I don't want to be too reactive in this matchup. And then one Tireless Tracker, which is great for these long games like we saw in Game 2. Something to tutor for that can generate a whole boatload of card advantage and get out of bolt range rather quickly. We're going to cut a couple of the mana creatures. I think the games are going to be a lot slower post-board. And Todd has Anger of the Gods in the sideboard. That's pretty common out of these decks. So you don't want to get caught losing a lot of your mana to Anger. And then we'll turn one Duskwatch Recruiter. I think it's generally just the weakest card in the deck, and there's already 2 copies, so I'm pretty happy to trim the second copy when I'm bringing in good sideboard cards.
All right. The counter spells are generally good against combo decks that don't hit the battlefield running. Ross's deck is very good about just deploying mana. That makes Remand a bit worse. A lot of his spells are creatures, so Force of Negation is quite mediocre at times. Same with Spell Pierce. Obviously, when they're good, they're great. But I just can't really afford to have cards that are just either 10s or 1s, depending on the situation at hand. Blood Moon, also a bit mediocre when he has a bunch of Birds of Paradise, Noble Hierarchs to fight through them.
And basics. I just have 3/4 suppliants, a bunch of etches.
Yeah, so his deck is relatively insulated from these two types of interactions. So I'm going to be loading up on card advantage via Jace the Mind Sculptor. We have an Ashiok Dreamrender to not only lock out his ability to tutor through his deck, but also can occasionally knock off the graveyard so he can't search it with Finale or Postmortem Lunge. And then more interaction in Anger of the Gods, Engineer Explosives, and Flame Slash to help knock off these small creatures.
Yeah. It's also Eternal Witness that Ashiok is good against. So,
So
several little things that card does in this matchup.
Now, Ross made a good point that when I'm bringing in the 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors, there's a good chance I should just be leaving in some number of Force of Negation. I've left in 1. I couldn't quite figure out a spot to bring in for the second, or leave the second one in rather, so we are trimming 1. But I could definitely see myself just wanting more Force of Negation when I have Jace in my deck. As you saw, like that game I was just digging for Narset. Just wanted something to help generate 2-for-1s. And Jace plus Force of Negation is quite a combo.
Yeah. There are going to be some games where you're able to Jace minus on a Devoted Druid and feel safe. But other games, like you're just going to have to hope that Force of Negation covers you against Finale or Latimer's Call. And if they have both creatures, Walking Ballista and Vizier, you die.
All right, hit me with some questions, Mr. Taylor.
So a lot of questions about Hogak and whatever.
Hogak!
Yeah, right. I think about it as like when I first found out about Gak when I was a kid. Hold on, Gak!
Throw it against the wall. Make a green slime spot and your mom gets really mad.
But Punch Card, I believe, has a very good question.
Hit me.
He is headed to, or they are headed to Magic Fest Dallas the end of the month. They're going to play as a Phoenix, but with Hogak being what it is, and the graveyard in spirits, should he be looking at an alternative?
Well, you plan on playing Phoenix, right? Even though this deck is busted?
I don't know what I'm planning on doing. I got a couple weeks to figure things out. I'm certainly, going to test with the Hogak Birchvine deck, and I'll see if I can beat it with Phoenix. It might take jamming a bunch of Leylines on the sideboard. This deck is also the Druid combo deck is doing well, so maybe you want an Ashiok in the sideboard of that deck, which it can also help you against Amulet and Scape Shift, things like that. So I think there's ways that you can adjust to it. The question is going to be how popular do we think that deck is going to be, and then how good your matchup is against that, and the decks that people are looking at to beat it. Because I think Phoenix is going to be pretty good against the decks that people are looking to beat that deck with.
Do you think that there is an argument against playing Phoenix because people are going to go so overboard with things like Leyline of the Void? And if that's the case, do you have any consideration for playing like 4 Aria of Flame as your win condition without utilizing the graveyard alongside Thing in the Ice?
Yeah, we could play like Aria Flame or more Crackling Drakes, just move away from Ascension. That's a good point as to if you decide to Phoenix, how do you adjust to the influx of graveyard hate? But I'm at the stage of, do I even get to play Phoenix anymore?
Sure. Personally, I think that this graveyard deck, this Bridge from Below Hogak deck, is going to have 2 cards banned from it within 3 months. I don't know how quickly they're going to act. I thought that there's from just playing the deck a little bit, I think there might be a chance that it's banned on day 1. Like it's so busted. that there's a chance that like they just emergency ban it like, within 2 weeks from today.
You think we're gearing up for a Hogak summer?
I hope not. I mean, I don't know if they're going to ban Bridge from Below or Hogak or Altar of Dementia, but I know that the fact that Ross hit me with a Relic of Progenitus on turn 2 and a Relic of Progenitus on turn 3, and then I killed him with graveyard-related stuff and an Altar of Dementia on turn 4, just really showed me how stupid the interactions are in the deck. And by stupid, I mean obviously busted, not like they're dumb.
Yeah. That demonstrated more to me that cards like Relic of Progenitus are not the kind of graveyard hate that you want.
Well, there's only 3 options for the other kind. There's Rest in Peace, Leyline of the Void, and Yixlid Jailer.
Grafdigger's Cage.
And Grafdigger's Cage. But Grafdigger's Cage doesn't stop sacrifices and Bridge from Below.
So you got to, if you have a plan that combines Cage with ways to deal with Bridge, that's a coherent plan.
You are asking so much from people to have like a 2-card combo to deal with like 40 cards from the opponent or whatever. They're all I
don't know what you want from me. Like they got to have something. They got to try.
No, I know they have to try, but I'm saying that like it's too much for it. Like it requires too much. Like
sure.
When the what was it? I saw an Azorius control deck with 4 Snapcaster Mages and 2 main deck Surgicals. Right. One the thing and 4 Leyline of the sideboard and 4 Leyline of the Void in the sideboard and your Snapcaster Mage deck.
Can't play Rest in Peace. You got Snapcasters.
Look at those opening hands. Wow. Wow.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree with you saying the deck is busted, but my job is to figure out how to beat it if I can.
I'm going to keep mine.
Sounds a little slow, but I still think it's keep.
Go.
While you're doing the first couple turns, Todd, what do you think about playing Seasoned Pyromancer and Echo of Eons in your deck?
That's the draw 7 thing, I think, Echo of Eons. I like Seasoned Pyromancer as more of a fair card. I think any sort of draw 7 you have to pair with Narset so that you get that combo potential. And I think Days Undoing is just a bit better because it's more consistent. It ends the turn, right? But like if your opponent ends the turn with no cards in hand, like who cares?
So I'm going to go to 17 and get a Breeding Pool, cast Incubation.
Yeah, you can do a few more while we're doing this if you want.
Yeah,
if you have
a couple,
big. That's a good one. Right, we're gonna cast an Opt. Just looking for lands here, I think. Draw, untap, draw. Let's go to 17. Play a Thing in the Ice.
Here's a good question. What do you think what are they likely banning in your opinion? Banning the old Bridge cards seems weird because they're not really the problem, but banning new printing cards seems unlikely. Maybe ban looting. People are discussing.
I go to 15.
People are discussing what to ban.
I think if you ban looting, the deck is still probably pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just becomes built differently. My article actually today outlines some potential ways to build the deck that, you could potentially just cut some of the cards and it would be fine.
I think Altar and Hogak are the 2 cards you want to
Yeah, Altar and Hogak are certainly new and fairly offensive.
I think everything else the deck is doing is fine for Modern. But
would you ban one and not the other?
I don't know.
I mean, I might ban... Ooh, that's a good one. I'll keep... Oh, sorry, it's here on draw. Scratch.
Yeah. Don't worry, it was good anyway.
Well, we actually have to bottom the Cryptic because we don't have another land. So we'll keep the other one on top. So go. I think there's a chance that Altar and Hogak both get banned. I would not be surprised if they just banned Bridge from Below and kept the 2 new cards because they're new. I hate that kind of thing, though. What the hell is this? He didn't play a Noble Hierarch. Okay, I'm going to braid your Spells Guide. He's casting Eldamri's Claw, I guess, but sure. Give me
a 14.
Get that Frog Lizard.
So you're at 14. I'm at 17 from a Fetch Shock, and I get a Frog Lizard.
Yeah. Unfortunate that Todd had the braid. Now I'm going to get beat down a little bit.
And exile, or mill 4 and then exile your graveyard. And then hit you for 3. Put you to 11. Your turn. And that also means that he can't tutor, which is a big deal. And his Horizon Canopy is also dealing him damage right now, which is nice. So Eldamir's Call turned off.
I'll go to 10. You can go.
Who's at 10? You?
Ross is at 10.
All right.
I'm going to steal your Noble Hierarch. I'm going to attack for 4.
That is gross.
She is 6. And I will say go. Like, milling him for a little bit doesn't really do much here. So.
And to your point earlier, Todd, I think banning Bridge is like the safest part of all that because they don't get rid of the new cards, and that's really the biggest problem in that deck.
4 cards in hand?
Yeah, and Hogak only really goes infinite with Bridge. Yeah, I got 4 in hand. It like does some cool stuff with Bloodghast, but doesn't really go infinite with Bloodghast. But if you have 2 Bridges in your graveyard, and an Altar of Dementia and a Hogak, it's almost a lock that you mill your whole deck. And then after you mill your whole deck, you get to cast Hogak like 5 times and mill your opponent for a bajillion.
I don't think this Devoted Druid is going to work because Todd is missing land drops, which means he has all spells in hand. But
we drew a land, which was super good because now we can snap a Braid. So now attack for 4. Oh no, we have the Noble anyway. Forgot about that.
I'm at 2.
All right, and I will snap a Braid the Devoted Druid. Say go.
As I suspected, that did not work.
I guess I'll exile your graveyard as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or, whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to keep his like witness or wherever from being able to get back to Devoted Druid. And I would have got the card in his hand, but whatever. I'm not really worried about it.
I'm going to go to 1 and then go back up to 2. Exile the thing in your graveyard.
Doesn't Incubation Incongruity exile? Did I mess that up?
Oh, yeah. Check? I was looking at, okay. I was just looking at your graveyard and saw
no, I think...
Yeah, it does
the moment you said it, my brain was like, I don't think that's... I think I messed up. George. All right, so you're still at 2.
Yep.
That's how we have to pronounce Judge from now on.
George!
George!
Can I get a George?
Vizier pass.
Okay. So now he has to trade and chump. Because he's at 2. Okay.
Trade and jump.
Okay. I will exile your mill 4 and exile graveyard.
Irma George.
Irma George! Your turn.
Go on, Anastasia.
That does not quite do it.
Well,
Actually,
are you assuming I have 4 bricks in hand? Because I literally have everything covered.
Sure, I'm dead.
I'm going to opt. Okay. Had that covered too. Just in case. Okay. All right.
Stop.
Look, he beat the crap out of me 2 games in a row. So I'm just, I got to get my little camera time.
Yeah, having the removal spell for the spell skite was big.
Yeah. With Magmatic Sinkhole, though, and the couple of Braids, you actually have quite a few ways to handle those kind of annoyances there. And then it really helps out in random scenarios like that.
Notably, Spellskite is a horror, so it does not get returned by Thing in the Ice.
Oh, you're right. You know what else is a horror that I learned the other day?
What?
Phyrexian Obliterator.
Oh,
It did not get bounced by my Thing in the Ice in Magic Online.
Is it cannot be the card?
I beat it. I took 15 damage from it and then attacked with a bunch of Phoenixes. I blocked with an 0-4 Thing in the Ice on it once. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Got him.
So you took 16 damage from it?
I don't know. It was over the course of 2 games, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
One game it literally 15'd me, and then I killed him. Another game, it's I blocked it with one of my extra things in the ice.
Just one of those things in the
Oh no! One time I set adrifted after I took 15. That was nice. He conceded. All right, question me, brah.
All right. Thoughts. Thoughts on Finale of Devastation versus Court of Calling.
I think Finale just being cheaper in general is super important. You can go Mana Creature into Finale for Giver and set up your combo that way that you can't really do with Cord. And there's not a lot of creatures lying around in this deck. You're not usually, maybe you have a Vizier or a Duskwatch Recruiter, but that's about it. Maybe an Eternal Witness, 1, maybe 2 extra creatures. So you're not convoking too hard with the Cord. I do miss the ability to instant speed put Devoted Druid onto the battlefield.
Yeah,
that's the one big thing that you lose out on. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with Finale. I will keep my hand. Yeah, you're good.
It's
I'll go to 18.
It's a little sketchy, but that would have made things a lot better. Let's go Serum. I made it way better. All these cards are great. Your turn. Sure.
Go.
Let's go to 18 and let's go ahead and braid this. Your turn.
Okay, let's incubation, try to find another mana creature.
Yeah.
I boarded out some birds. That's a problem. I think we're going to lose this game. Let's get an Eternal Witness.
Okie dokie.
And pass the turn.
Woof. Okay.
I think you generally keep one land mana creature and everything all rolled up. Come on. You got one.
Your turn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Roz. I don't think I want to exile his graveyard here. I'm not super worried about it. I want to keep the loyalty reasonably high. Sure.
Pass.
Sure. Immediately punished. It's okay.
I mean, I did show you the Eternal Witness off the incubation.
You did. But you didn't have the land. Probably should have. Whatever. It's not a huge deal.
Okay.
I will play Thing in the Ice and fetch land in your turn. We don't have Blood Moons in our deck, so we can just fetch duels and be fine here.
Are we still at 2020?
I'm at 18. I shocked.
I'm also at 18. I shocked on turn 1.
My bad. We should announce it better for you. That's our fault.
I'm just reading. I should pay attention.
Pass the turn.
No, that's the thing. You gotta do all the things. All right. Sure.
Yeah, no force of negation.
No. I'm gonna beat you to death with this frog lizard though, again.
Godzilla.
Frogzilla. Let's get our steam vents. Any cuts?
You're good.
Alright, so I'm at 17 now. Draw for turn. Tap.
15.
Go.
Attack the Ashok.
I will play Snapcaster Mage.
Yep.
Target Braid. I'll block.
Yep.
Still during combat after damage resolves. So he's just going to play Devoted Druid, so yeah, whatever. I'll braid it.
Okay. Devoted Druid.
Yep.
You're up.
Untap, draw, attack.
12.
Let's go Flame Slash the Devoted Druid. Minus the Ashiok. Play, let's go Snap Serum, actually. Draw, top 2. 2 lands can go to the bottom, you're up.
Actually, it's looking really impressive.
Yeah, Ashiok looks quite good in this matchup. Ross has, I mean, it shuts off fetch lands too, right?
Yes.
Like,
Seven.
playing Opt.
Okay.
I was bolted. Like, kind of want to save it in case he does something to deal himself a damage. Oh crap! Wrong one. My bad. They're all red.
Vizier.
Sure.
You can go.
Attack.
2.
Bolt you.
I am dead.
Yes, Ashiok looked. No, I mean, did you have fetch lands in hand? That you
No,
rolled
I
or
had
anything?
double call, double finale.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one of. Obviously, that was super lucky to draw at both post-board games, but good
We got
lord,
one more.
It was nice. All right, well, that's fine.
Gotta play game 5.
Gotta play game 5.
Gotta play game 5. Got it.
Any more questions over there, Taylor?
Well, people are arguing that they should just reset the ban list as a way to combat the Hogak decks. I think that's not a great idea, but I am.
Are they talking about reset as an unban everything?
Yes.
You know, we had a no banless modern open last year. We tried this.
Yeah.
We ran this experiment. It was horrible.
It was Eldrazi, and then Miracles from BBD.
It was the like Merit Lage decks.
I would be somewhat interested in a modern format where 2 cards were banned, and they are Mental Misstep and Ayavugan.
I don't even know that Mental Misstep needs to be banned in that world. Like, sure, I'm just saying. Like, if you want to go full on degeneracy, stuff like Mental Misstep kind of keeps things in check more than it hurts. It is really oppressive, but in a format that has like hypergenesis and other things like that, you know, like the ability to turn on Chalice of the Void off of Chromox, like Mental Misstep stops looking so good. Like when you get Chromox Chalice of the Void on one, and you're like mono red Blood Moon Prison deck or whatever.
Basically, every deck in the no ban list open had either Ayavugan or Mental Misstep.
Yep.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, well, the Dark Depths deck used it to protect Confidant and Merit Lodge, so like, and also to like knock off some of like the Glimpse of Nature decks and stuff. I don't know if that was like a great start to the format, you know, if it actually became the format, because people just had Ayavugans from the previous modern format.
Also, Dark Depths is messed up. You should ban that one too. 3 cards.
Okay.
I'm on the play.
Yeah, you're on the play.
Hesea says, should Neoform be playing Serum Powder, or is it the non-green card and exiling 2 punishing?
I just hate Serum Powder as a card. I feel like with London Mulligan, you can just play... I mean, I would not really play the deck until London Mulligan, and I think Serum Powder works mediocrely with London Mulligan.
Just has no pieces of the combo. I'm just mulling. Postmortem Lunge and Incubation, Walking Ballista. That's a bunch of nonsense.
Again!
Sorry.
I don't actually have a whip, so I can't be like, nah.
iPhone 747, he's on his lunch break and really wants to know Todd's thoughts on Kiki Exarch combo.
I've seen a couple lists do okay recently, and they tickled my fancy. But if you want to do that, I actually think Jeskai Saheeli is a better option. Just because it's cheaper, and Feldar Guardian can be built in such a way to have a greater impact on the game than Deceiver Exarch. And I think Saheeli being able to kind of dig through your deck for combo pieces with the Scry, as well as sometimes go like minus to bring back, like if you want to go hard on it, like you can minus on Eternal Witness or whatever, or Snapcaster Mage. So it has value outside of just being a combo piece.
I think the question is specifically in relation to Blue Moon, because a lot of people play that.
Oh,
Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've never been a fan of the combo versions of Blue Moon, the ones with Through the Breach Emrakul or Kiki Exarch.
I feel like with Narset and Thing in the Ice, like you can just be a combo deck or a normal control deck with those like explosive elements
and Force of Negation to protect your Planeswalkers. Just be a control deck. You're keeping your 7?
I'm keeping my 7. And you are on the play.
Ross is 6. Are you guys doing London today?
No. We have like 1 or 2 more modern tournaments before London Mulligan comes into effect, so we're trying to test with those. Once London Mulligan is going to be in effect that next week, we're 100% switching over.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll get a Temple Garden and play Giver. Okay. 17. You can go.
I think if I do a thing, I might die. He is on 6. 17, Serum Visions.
So both at 17.
17 all.
Draw off the Serum.
Yep.
Scry 2. Looking for more interaction. Pair of lands can go to the bottom. You're up.
Noble Hierarch.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Injuring Explosives for 1. Could probably wait 1 more turn, but I will almost certainly want to use the extra 1 mana next turn. So Serum. Bottom 2 lands, your go. Now, if he has a way to destroy this explosives here, it's not good for me.
Devoted Druid.
Yep.
You can go.
Pop. In response, I'll bolt it. Your turn.
Land, please. Go.
Fetch an island. 16.
No. A frustrating set of draws from my side here. Just not able to play a second land.
Go.
Yeah, that's probably too late, but at least we can play some Magic.
So now he's going to Eldamri's Call. You still at 16? Or 17?
I'm at 17, yes.
I guess not.
Opt resolves.
Okay. Keep this one. Play another opt.
Yep.
Untap.
I will... Yeah, let's pass. I don't really know what I need to find. Hoping I get a little bit more information on this turn. If it gets countered, whatever I was going to find was going to get countered. It actually saves me tempo. Sure. Unless it's exactly force of negation, I guess.
Flame slash this.
Yep. That's not a good sign.
You're at 10.
10.
Go.
End of turn, I'll go to 9 and call. Even if Todd has nothing, I'm like not going to be able to tap this canopy for very long.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really get Deputy here because even if I draw a blue source, like the way Deputy is templated, Todd can kill it with the trigger on the stack, and the Awoken Horror just will never leave the battlefield. So that's not really a plan to buy any sort of time. So we just go for it and lose to whatever removal spells in Todd's hand, any Snapcaster. Okay, well, I guess we can play this tapped and then go to 8. Play Devoted Druid.
Okay.
Pass.
I think I have a bunch of lands on the bottom of my deck from the Serums. I don't know if I've shuffled since then. I know that I opted an Abrade to the bottom. And at this juncture, I guess Abrade's not that bad, which means I probably should have kept it to begin with, because the card I drew was not very good.
Actually, even if Todd has nothing, we don't even have a kill next turn.
So people in chat are asking Ross a couple turns ago why you went to protect the Devoted Druid even though EE wouldn't hit it.
Because if he gives it per red and my removal spell's sorcery, then I can't kill his Devoted Druid that turn.
The giver is going to die to the EE, so I'm not going to be able to activate it out later.
Yeah. Just wanted them to get a good
that's a great question, and that's...
Yeah, if Todd had exactly Flame Slash, then, I beat that. You have Magmatic Insight. And I'm at 1.
Sinkhole. You are going to be at 1 in a moment. Yep. Your go.
Go. Okay.
Rebuy.
We have the smallest amount of hope.
You are alive. Kind of. Tag.
Well, this is versus live.
Yeah. Play this, and I will minus. And I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Say go.
You're at 15. Well, my 5-card hand is all bricks. Got a couple Unified Wills when I don't have any creatures. Fetch land I can't crack.
Yeah.
And 2 tutors that don't do anything to Ashiok.
Oh, Ashiok, you beautiful son of a bitch.
Now, I want to point out to chat, pre-board games, Ross had it.
Yeah.
Post game.
I mean, I drew Ashiok. Oh, his draw in game 5 not great. Games 3 and 4, Ashiok on turn 3 both times was insane. And obviously, me getting some of the counterspells on my deck and the Anger of the Gods into the deck and more spell removal just helps me interact in a positive way from my side.
Todd's deck is certainly going to improve more post sideboard in the matchup. The draws were skewed to sort of exacerbate that effect. Like I drew much better in the pre-board games than I did in the post-board games.
That's true.
And so but you're certainly going to be worse in the post-board games than you were pre. Maybe I'm not supposed to have Unified Will in my deck. I don't know. I'm a little scared of Anger.
Every time I play with the card Unified Will, I always find myself having so many situations where my opponent just kills my creatures and then it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary to me to have Unified Will in your deck instead of Negate, because you're not really that scared of Primeval Titan.
I mean, that's certainly true.
Isn't Primeval Titan the card that people really care about with Unified Will?
Yeah,
Negate?
But if you play against something like the Amulet Titan decks, then you do kind of want the Unified Will. But then again, sometimes they just go Secure Tribe Scale to Zusa, and then you go Noble Hierarch, and then you have this Unified Will, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm bringing in that counterspell, a Unified Will against them. So I think I'd rather have some combination of Negate and Dispel. Sometimes you can go, turn 3 Devoted Druid, hold up Dispel, and just counter their removal spell. So I think some combination of Dispel and Negate is what I would look to in those spots. Not that it would have helped me in that game.
Sure. As far as the Blue Moon deck is concerned, obviously in this matchup, we side out the Blue Moon, so it's more about just this is-it kind of control strat. Force of Negation, not great in this matchup, but there are some obvious synergies alongside these Planeswalkers like Narset and Jason Mind Sculptor, because they kind of accrued multiple card advantages over time. And then you can kind of afford to do that pitch to protect yourself while you're tapping out. It's possible that in game 1, this deck does need something like 1 or 2 Jason Mind Sculptors. I just have the 2 in the sideboard and just a couple of Narsets in the main. I was modeled after a deck that did well in the Modern Challenge last weekend with Modern Horizons. And there's a couple things I would probably change. I've already changed a few things. I like the flow of it for sure. And after sideboard, I basically shored up all of the weaknesses in this particular matchup. And that's what I was kind of going for. Just felt like there were too many counterspells in the main deck, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of matchups where Blue Moon is like that. It's very good in control mirrors because of the presence of Remands and extra counter magic. But the ones that don't have other functionality, like Cryptic Command and Archmage's Charm, are pretty weak in the matchups where your opponent's playing to the battlefield really quickly, and when you fall behind, you can't really afford to hold up mana for counterspells. You've got to be interacting with them. You're either going to have to interact on your turn or interact on their combat when they attack before they cast spells. So, you bring those out, you bring in extra removal, and suddenly your deck gets a lot smoother. And the Thing in the Ice is a great addition in that deck because it's such a cheap win condition that you can tap out. You don't tap out for early if you're not under a lot of pressure in turn 2, and really get ahead and sort of take an aggressive posture that most control decks can't, or cast it on turn 4, 5, 6, have your counter spells and other interaction ready, transform it within the span of 2, 3 turns, and turn the corner. And the issue again with control decks, we say this all the time, is they can't handle such a wide array of threats in the modern format, so you need to be able to close the game out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Thing Ice is a great card to have in that 2-drop slot, just because with Force of Negation being able to protect it, it's a pretty huge deal. But I never like the versions that try to win with Batterskull or whatever, or Koranos, just because it just takes too long. And Thing in the Ice closes quickly, and it has that added utility of sometimes just buying you time against these creature-based decks. So definitely like the Things in the Ice for sure.
You'd be surprised at how quickly Koranos kills people when you turn it into a 6/5. Your Blood Moon counts, your Jace counts, your Narset counts.
Yeah, that's
Snapcaster
true.
Mages. You 6/5 a lot with that card in Blue Moon.
Sure. All right. Well, that's going to do it for match 1. We're going to be moving on where Ross is going to be playing his Boros Ether Vial deck. We're calling it Bladen Taxes.
Boros Taxes.
Boros Taxes.
Yeah. Nick Miller.
Stop asking him.
This
is my show.
Today.
This is my show.
If it makes you feel better, it's on my paper, Bladen Taxes, then I had to.
All right. Well, okay, for the graphic it can be whatever, but when we're playing the games, it's Bladen Taxes. How about that?
I'm gonna call it Boros.
We have control. Why? You wanted to call it Bladen Taxes? That was your name for it.
I initially called it Boros Taxes. Then you said something. We had a lot of names for this deck. The important part is that we're
Taxes.
not. We're I don't know.
What's the Goblin Engineer?
Yeah,
is the main
important part
new
is
thing.
Goblin Engineer. We're using it to tutor for various swords and get in with swords early, like Stoneforge Mystic in our Taxes deck. It's really sweet. We've got a lot of artifacts that we can turn into a sword and normal Taxes cards. So I think deck's really cool. Hope it's really good.
Yeah, and we're going to be playing against one of the premier decks in the format, this new Azorius Control deck that's popped up everywhere. It won the Modern Challenge last weekend. It won a Classic 2-3 weeks ago at one of the Opens. And honestly, it just looks phenomenal. Narset's a great addition to the deck. A lot of Planeswalkers combined with Force of Negation means that a lot of times you can tap out on your own turn with no fear, and that just makes those blue Planeswalkers so much better. You have that removal like Path to Exile that is just kind of all inclusive as far as creatures are concerned. Yeah, I mean it's really good, but we're going to see how it fares though, because this Blatant Taxes deck has a lot of ways to get around the counter spells with Aether Vial. And are you playing Cavern of Souls or no?
No Caverns.
Some versions play Cavern. Anyway, we're going to get to that in just a minute, though. We're going to take a short break while we get those decks put together and everything.
7-minute break.
7-minute break. We'll be right back.